On May 15, 2024, the peace of a seemingly ordinary day in Slovakia was shattered. Prime Minister Robert Fico became the victim of a shocking attack. Details remain sketchy, but reports confirm that shots were fired as the Prime Minister was leaving the Parliament building. Fico, thankfully, escaped unharmed. The would-be assassin was subdued at the scene by the Prime Minister's security detail.
Slovakian authorities launched a full-scale investigation. Security measures were immediately heightened across the country, particularly for government officials.
The attack on Fico is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the unpredictable nature of political violence. This incident raises numerous questions about the current political climate in Slovakia and the forces that might have led to such an extreme act. Slovakia, once a beacon of stability in Central Europe, has faced growing political divisions in recent years. Economic anxieties fueled by global uncertainties have created fertile ground for populist rhetoric and social unrest.
At the heart of this political storm stands Robert Fico, a figure who has dominated Slovakian politics for over a decade. Known for his fiery rhetoric and populist appeals, Fico has been a divisive figure. His supporters praise him for his strong leadership and commitment to traditional values. Critics, however, accuse him of authoritarian tendencies, undermining democratic norms and fueling the very divisions that plague the country.
Fico's tenure as Prime Minister has been marked by both successes and controversies. His close ties with certain oligarchs and his government's perceived leniency towards corruption have eroded public trust. The attack on Fico has inevitably sparked debate about whether his policies and rhetoric have contributed to the current climate of tension and violence.
Critics point to his government's crackdown on dissent, including restrictions on media freedom and civil society organizations. They argue that Fico's divisive rhetoric, often targeting minorities and political opponents, has created an environment of intolerance and emboldened extremists. Fico's supporters, however, vehemently reject these accusations. They maintain that his policies are necessary to protect Slovakian values and interests.
While it is impossible to draw a direct causal link between Fico's policies and the attack, it is undeniable that his rhetoric and actions have contributed to the polarization of Slovakian society. His government's crackdown on dissent has stifled open debate and fueled resentment. His populist appeals, while resonating with some, have alienated others and created a climate of fear and distrust. In the wake of the attack, experts and analysts have offered a range of perspectives on the potential motives and implications.
Some believe the attack was the act of a lone wolf, driven by personal grievances or mental instability. They point to the lack of any immediate claim of responsibility or connection to a larger organization. Others, however, suspect a deeper political motivation.
They argue that the attack could be a sign of growing extremism in Slovakia, fueled by economic anxieties and political polarization.
The investigation is ongoing, and it is too early to draw definitive conclusions. However, the attack on Fico serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the dangers of political violence.
The attack on Prime Minister Fico has cast a long shadow over Slovakia's future.
The immediate impact is palpable heightened security measures, a climate of fear and uncertainty, and a nation grappling with the realization that even in a seemingly stable democracy, violence can erupt unexpectedly.
The long-term consequences, however, remain unclear.
The attack could serve as a wake-up call, prompting a period of national introspection and a renewed commitment to democratic values.
However, there is also a risk that the attack could further exacerbate existing divisions, leading to a spiral of fear and repression.
The government might be tempted to exploit the situation to justify further crackdowns on dissent, curtailing civil liberties in the name of security.
The attack on Fico resonates far beyond Slovakia's borders.
It serves as a chilling reminder of the global rise of political violence and the fragility of democratic institutions. From the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol to the assassination of Shinzo Abe, recent years have witnessed a disturbing trend of violence targeting political leaders and institutions.
This trend is fueled by a confluence of factors, including economic inequality, social media-driven polarization, and the erosion of trust in traditional institutions.
The attack on Fico is a stark reminder that no democracy is immune to these challenges. The international community must stand united in condemning such attacks, supporting Slovakia in its time of need and working together to prevent similar tragedies from occurring elsewhere.